She mentioned, "Perhaps we ought to remain just pals." I responded, "Fine," and allowed her to depart. Afterward, I took an engineering position in Nevada, began anew, established a fresh existence, and discovered a new romance. Subsequently, when all she had anticipated crumbled, she appeared at my entrance. I am Ryan, 33, and I serve as a mechanical engineer for a production firm in Ohio. My routine is organized, foreseeable, and typically serene. I lease a simple condo close to my workplace and devote most nights either exercising or tinkering on minor engineering tasks at home. My partner was Alyssa, 29. We had been a couple for slightly more than 3 years, residing apart but sharing most evenings at my residence. She was employed in event promotion and flourished on spotlight, commotion, and ongoing social activity. While I favored consistency, she preferred upheaval. Back then, I thought that indicated we complemented one another. Throughout much of our partnership, Alyssa had a habit of portraying discontent as progress. If she felt uninterested, it signified she was advancing. If she initiated a dispute, it implied I wasn't stimulating her sufficiently. She enjoyed pointing out that she possessed alternatives. She expressed it lightheartedly initially, then more seriously. Roughly 4 months prior to the conclusion, she began claiming we were in distinct phases of existence. I inquired what that signified practically. She never replied straightforwardly. Rather, she would fault minor issues. My employment was secure but not thrilling. My condo was cozy but not remarkable. My weekends were reliable. She would liken us to pairs she tracked on the internet, individuals always journeying or starting businesses. The real separation occurred on a Tuesday evening in my kitchen. She was striding back and forth as I was filling the dishwasher. She suggested perhaps we ought to remain just pals. She uttered it as if presenting me with an improvement, like companionship was a reward. I wiped my hands, gazed at her, and said fine. She blinked as though she had misunderstood. I didn't debate. I didn't seek explanation. I didn't attempt to bargain conditions. I merely inquired when she intended to collect the remainder of her possessions. That was the instant her demeanor altered. When I asked when she intended to collect the remainder of her possessions, she halted striding and glared at me as if I had offended her. "You're not even going to battle for me," she stated. I informed her I don't battle for somebody who just chose to exit. If she desired to depart, that was her choice. I wasn't going to position myself in the entrance and obstruct it. That infuriated her. Alyssa disliked straightforward departures. She favored conflict. She favored scenarios where she could sense desired. Instead, she received practicalities. She charged me with being indifferent. Said my absence of response demonstrated we were mismatched. Said she required fervor, not a checklist. The reality was more straightforward. When somebody suggests perhaps we ought to remain just pals, they're not seeking confirmation. They're assessing power. I wasn't keen on bargaining for my own role in my own partnership. She collected some garments that evening and exited in a theatrical hurry. The following morning she messaged inquiring if we could converse again, once I had digested matters. I answered that there was nothing to digest. She stated she wished to discover her identity without the burden of dedication. I told her I hoped she resolved that. That weekend I packaged the rest of her items. Nothing emblematic. Just sensible. Footwear, a few cooking tools she had purchased, mounted pictures she preferred more than I did. I delivered the packages to her sibling's flat after verifying via message that it was okay. 2 weeks afterward I accepted an engineering role in Nevada. That aspect wasn't spontaneous. I had been interviewing discreetly for months. The firm focused on sustainable power setups, and the position included a substantial pay raise and management duties. I hadn't informed Alyssa because I hadn't been certain I would accept it. When she learned via a shared acquaintance, she phoned right away. "So you were intending to depart regardless," she stated. "No," I answered. "I was preparing for possibilities." There was an extended pause on the call. She stated she believed I would pursue her. She presumed the separation would compel me to demonstrate how much I desired her. Instead, I was preparing to relocate. The week prior to departing for Nevada, Alyssa's calls grew. Initially, it was informal. She desired coffee before I relocated. She claimed it would be grown up to achieve resolution. I informed her I didn't require resolution. The partnership had concluded distinctly enough. Then the demeanor changed. She began dispatching late-night messages about recollections, images from excursions, private humor. She recalled things I had done for her, presented as evidence that we were unique. It seemed less like reminiscence and more like cataloging. One evening she arrived at my condo without notice. She rapped as if she still resided there. I opened the entrance because I was anticipating a parcel arrival. She entered without inquiring and surveyed the area as if examining something she had lost. "So this is it," she stated. "You are truly departing." "Yes." "You are not even slightly sorrowful." I informed her I was let down but not perplexed. "There is a distinction." She rolled her eyes and said I was sentimentally mechanical. She inquired if I was dating someone already. I said no. She inquired if there was someone in Nevada. I said no once more. Then she uttered something that explained everything. "I believed if I withdrew you would finally advance." That was the first truthful statement she had voiced in weeks. I informed her I don't react to demands or trials. If somebody wants to be with me, they can express that straightforwardly. I am not interested in interpreting warnings. She remained there anticipating me to alter my opinion. I did not. When she departed, I secured the entrance and restricted her contact. Not from rage. From organization. I was relocating across the nation. I didn't need opinions during the shift. The next morning she attempted calling from another number. I restricted that one as well. 2 days afterward, I was on a one-way journey to Reno with 2 bags, a signed agreement, and no ongoing discussions. For the first time in months, everything felt tranquil. Reno wasn't luxurious, but it was tidy and effective. The firm had transferred me with a basic package. So I settled into a modern apartment building about 15 minutes from the facility. Hills in the background, arid atmosphere, broad streets. It felt expansive. The new position was challenging in a manner I valued. I was supervising a small group for the first time, managing system merging on major renewable initiatives. My days were extended but ordered. There was no sentimental puzzle at work. Issues had origins. Origins had solutions. The initial month went by without turmoil. Alyssa attempted once more via email. A brief note asking if we could converse. I did not reply. I stored it and modified my settings so any message from her skipped my main folder completely. Restricting her wasn't dramatic. It was logical. I wasn't interested in restarting talks that had already been resolved. Around week 6, a shared acquaintance messaged me inquiring if Alyssa and I were covertly resolving issues. Evidently, she had been informing others we were merely taking a break while I settled in. That astonished me. I responded with a plain no. We separated. I relocated. That is all. The acquaintance sent a capture from Alyssa's online profile. It was an ambiguous description about occasionally forfeiting something reliable because you needed to pursue something exceptional. The responses were filled with individuals urging her to follow her instincts. I did not participate. I silenced the acquaintance's discussion after explaining the details. Over the following months, my existence became habitual again. I enrolled in a nearby climbing center. I began trekking on weekends. I encountered new co-workers beyond work who had no connection to my history. About 5 months later, I met Emily at a volunteer gathering the firm supported. She was 31, served as a civil engineer for the municipality, and had a style of communicating that was straightforward without being harsh. Our initial dialogue extended nearly 2 hours. No show. No probing. Just two grown-ups exchanging views on professional journeys and poor beverages. When I invited her out the next week, she agreed without drama. There was something reliable about her that I hadn't realized I lacked. Meanwhile, Emily and I were consistent. We were not sharing ambiguous descriptions or involving friends indirectly. We were organizing a weekend excursion to Lake Tahoe and debating which path was less populated. One evening, Emily inquired directly if Alyssa would pose an issue. I informed her no. Not because Alyssa wouldn't attempt, but because I wouldn't engage. That difference was important. Around month 11 in Nevada, everything Alyssa had anticipated began disintegrating, and that was when she exhausted intermediaries. I did not receive directly from Alyssa when things started collapsing. I received it the same way I had received everything else since restricting her. Through others. One of our former shared acquaintances phoned me late on a Thursday evening. Not to incite turmoil. He sounded exhausted. He informed me Alyssa had resigned her position 3 months prior. Evidently, she believed she had a superior opportunity arranged with a new venture that offered journeys and greater compensation. That opportunity never developed as she anticipated. The venture reduced staff. Her role was eliminated before it settled. Simultaneously, the man she had begun dating soon after I relocated from Ohio had terminated things. From what I learned, he didn't value being likened to me in disputes. That aspect was nearly humorous. The acquaintance said she had been discussing regret extensively. Not in a thoughtful manner. More like she was telling a recovery tale. She informed people she allowed something solid to escape because she desired excitement. Then came the aspect that was relevant. She had requested him for my new location. He did not provide it to her. I appreciated him for that and kept the discussion brief. That weekend, Emily and I were putting together a bookcase in my living area. Nothing theatrical. Just directions, lost fasteners, and slight annoyance over an unbalanced level. While we were laboring, my complex supervisor rapped on my entrance. There was somebody in the foyer inquiring for me. He said she asserted to be a longtime pal who was in the area unexpectedly. I already suspected. I had not shared my location openly. I had not distributed it broadly. But it wasn't impossible to locate if someone was resolute. Emily gazed at me calmly and inquired if I wanted her to depart. I said no. There was nothing hidden about my existence. I went downstairs. Alyssa was positioned near the post boxes with a bag beside her. She grinned as if this was accidental. Viewing her there felt less sentimental than I anticipated. She appeared slimmer. Not delicate, just fatigued. The bag beside her was compact, like she had packed hastily but attempted to make it seem deliberate. She said she was in the area for a promotion summit in Reno. That aspect was believable. Then she added that she thought she would drop by and astonish me since she was already present. I inquired how she obtained my location. She said she inquired around. People converse. That response informed me sufficiently. She advanced a bit nearer and softened her tone. I have been reflecting a lot. I committed an error. I did not cut her off. I permitted her to speak. She said she had been pursuing things that appeared thrilling but were not dependable. She said she comprehended too late that dependability is uncommon. She said she longed for how serene she felt near me. How secure. Then she uttered the part she likely practiced. I believed you would battle for me. I believed if I pressed you, you would demonstrate I was important. I informed her that when somebody suggests perhaps we ought to remain just pals, I trust them. I do not perform for my own partnership. She glanced beyond me toward the lift, then back at me. Are you dating someone? Yes. Her expression stiffened mildly. Committed? Yes. She nodded as if she anticipated that response but disliked it. Then she altered approaches. She said individuals mature. She said we were youthful and foolish. She said we could begin anew in Nevada. She even said she would contemplate relocating for good if that was necessary. That was the first time she presented herself as the one prepared to relocate. I informed her my existence here was not a vacant position awaiting refill. She gazed up at my apartment terrace and inquired if she could at least ascend to converse appropriately. I said no. She remained there for a few moments, evaluating. Then she inquired where she was expected to proceed. That was when I realized she had not merely arrived to visit. She had not reserved lodging. I inquired her directly where she was lodging. She delayed just sufficiently to verify what I already presumed. She said she believed we could converse first and then resolve it. That informed me she was functioning on presumption again. The same presumption that had propelled the separation. That I would handle the ambiguity and make it easy for her. I informed her she needed to reserve a space. There were several accommodations within strolling range. I even indicated one across the road. She appeared truly insulted. So that is it. You are not even going to listen to me upstairs. I informed her I had listened to her. She longed for dependability. She erred in judgment. She desired a restart. None of that altered the choice. She charged me if this was due to the new woman. I said no. This was because when she departed, she intended it. I merely concurred. For an instant, her poise fractured. She said everything she had anticipated after departing me had disintegrated. The position did not succeed. The man she dated was undependable. Her pals were occupied pursuing their own disorder. She said she finally grasped what reliability resembled. I informed her reliability is not something you return to when trials fail. She charged me with being inflexible, of possessing no mercy. That aspect was nearly humorous. I had not been furious. I had not criticized her openly. I had not attempted to undermine anything in her existence. I had simply advanced. She gazed toward the entry as if considering pushing past me. I retreated slightly and maintained my tone steady. You cannot ascend. This is not a debate about entry. It is about limits. She inquired if I still cared for her. I said I valued the period we shared, but that is distinct from desiring it returned. There was an extended quiet in the foyer. Then she lifted her bag. For a moment I thought she was going to depart silently. Instead, she uttered something gentler. "You were supposed to return." That was the most distinct overview of her whole scheme. I did not reply. I held the entrance open for her to exit. She exited, and the foyer entrance shut between us. For a moment she remained on the pavement, bag in hand, appearing diminished than I recalled. Not bodily, just organizationally. The assurance she used to bear like protection was absent. She uttered one final thing through the pain. "I did not believe you would truly allow me to depart." That was truthful in a way nothing else had been. I stepped outside so she would not be addressing an entrance. I informed her allowing her to depart was not an act of vengeance. It was harmony. She requested distance. I honored it. I constructed something else with the area. She inquired if I was truly content. I said yes. Not because my existence was theatrical or remarkable, but because it was consistent. Because the individual I was with now did not probe devotion by threatening to remove it. Because my position, my residence, my partnership all operated without concealed conditions. She nodded gradually. The conflict was absent. What stayed was awareness. She said she believed I would become uninterested. She believed Nevada would feel vacant. She believed I would liken everyone to her, and ultimately long for the instability. I informed her tranquility does not feel vacant once you identify it. She inquired if there was any form of the future where we rediscovered our path. I said no. Not furiously. Not loudly. Just distinctly. A transport arrived. She had finally arranged it while we were conversing. She placed the bag into the rear, without requesting assistance. Before she entered, she gazed at me one final time as if searching for doubt. There was none. I returned upstairs. Emily was seated on the sofa with 2 cups of tea. She did not question me. She merely inquired if everything was managed. It was. Later that evening, I removed the last joint online storage elixir and I had once utilized for journey images. Not from malice. Just finality. Some individuals depart anticipating chase. When chase does not arrive, they label it indifference. I label it attentiveness. She suggested perhaps we ought to remain just pals. I said fine. And I intended it.